Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Classified Captures. Steve here, and today I've got a collection of clips ranging from strange cryptid sightings to alien and reptilian beings hiding in plain sight that may just leave you shocked yet craving more. Ready? Well, let's jump in. What do you do when your home security camera captures something like this? Just in case you aren't sure what you're looking at. The clip starts off with a being that looks like a dog running from the right side of the frame toward the left. Just before it goes out of frame, it morphs into something else. It's like he becomes human, but that's not possible, right? Right? Well, it's not supposed to be until you hear this was recorded on a home security cam in North America, where legends of the Nagual is an everyday tale. If you didn't know or actually know what a Nagual is, it refers to an individual who's able to shapeshift and change into the form of their spirit animal. The big question here is this real? Is it authentic? Did we just witness a true transformation, or is someone just messing with us? I know we all hate blurry clips, but sometimes some of the clips are just too interesting to ignore. Take a look at this one, for instance. At first glance, it doesn't look like anything of interest, but after watching for a few seconds, you notice that there's a being in there that's, well, not built normally. He seems taller than the average human, and there's something odd about his body. Based on the clip, we can't say much, but the one who uploaded the clip insists it's a lizard man. He didn't give us a lot of details, only that he started to record the clip because he'd encountered a lizard being. The clip at some point is switched to a thermal view, which confirms that there's an unusual being there. But Julius thinks it was digitally created and that the whole clip is a hoax. We've seen footage of alleged lizard men in our world, and they have been pretty convincing. When it comes to this one, however, I'm not very sure. You guys are seeing what I've seen, so what do you think is going on here? A new wave of eerie entity sightings is causing quite a stir, with many comparing these mysterious figures to Dementors from the Harry Potter movies. In one instance, a man casually watching the news on TV noticed something strange outside his window. Grabbing his camera, he managed to capture the unsettling sight on film. In the footage, a dark figure is seen swiftly moving through the sky, almost gliding with an eerie smoothness. Its shape was indistinct, but it had that unmistakable shadowy form that many have been associating with these strange sightings. The way it moves, floating, yet with purpose, gives on an unsettling vibe. We shared this clip when it first came out, but explained it as a possible evil djinn sighting given where it was coming from. This new wave of being a Dementor is gaining ground, and we wanted your opinion. So what do you think? A man living in an apartment complex stepped outside one day to a bizarre and unsettling sight. About 4 cars parked in a line, all severely damaged. The most striking part was that the roofs on the driver's side had been ripped off as if something or someone had torn them open. Each car bore similar damage, but some were more wrecked than others. On top of that, the windshields were shattered. What makes this even stranger is that no one saw or heard anything while the damage was happening. It's as though whatever caused the destruction did so silently and swiftly, leaving no witnesses. So what could have caused this? Was it some kind of freak storm, an animal attack, or perhaps something more sinister? Kindly share your thoughts. A group of friends were out one night when they witnessed something strange in the sky. They managed to capture footage of a light darting quickly behind the clouds. The light appeared to flicker as it moved, giving it an eerie, almost otherworldly quality. The speed and erratic movement of the light made it stand out against the otherwise still night. It was as if it was trying to remain hidden behind the clouds, only revealing itself in brief flashes. What do you think this mysterious light could be? This strange footage was captured by a man walking on the deck of a cruise ship that had just ported out of Tampa. In the middle of the ocean, without any warning, thousands of birds and moths swarmed around the ship. Some of the creatures were flying chaotically, while others fell dead onto the deck. The ship's staff said they'd never witnessed anything like this before and had no explanation for what was happening. While some passengers speculated that it might be due to an approaching hurricane, the phenomenon remains a mystery. Could it be related to a natural disaster, or is there something else at play here? What do you think? So Elon has been making waves recently, and given the innovation he's promised on and delivered so far, no one can be mad that he is. Take the Optimus bots that his team built, for instance. That has the potential to be a game-changer in robotics if it hasn't already done that. The robot interactions were more human-like than anything we have seen, and it was very impressive. While the rest of the world has been more than impressed, there are some who think the whole thing is a charade. There are some who believe that they were being controlled remotely and not as autonomous as we were made to believe. You've seen the clips. Do you think Musk is lying to us, or were his products so innovative that people just can't seem to get their heads around it? Also, am I the only one seeing the similarities between his models and the robots from Will Smith's I, Robot movie, especially when his event was called We, Robot? Anyway, please share your thoughts. A man visited an abandoned house and was exploring its empty rooms when he began to hear strange noises coming from one particular room. Curious but cautious, he decided to peek inside to see what was causing the sound. As he quietly pushed open the door, this is what he saw. A pale, hairless creature crouched on the ground. Its head was pressed against the floor with a thin, bony arm visible. The creature was so focused on whatever it was doing that it didn't seem to notice the man standing there. The sight of this creature sent him running out of the house, terrified by what he had just encountered. What could this strange creature have been? A hunter set up a trail camera in the woods during hunting season, hoping to capture wildlife activity. But what he ended up capturing on one of the cameras was far more shocking. The footage shows a huge, hairy creature standing about 7 feet tall. In the video, the creature was running away from something. When the footage was analyzed with various filters, the creature's physique became even clearer. You can see its muscles moving, its powerful stride, and just how massive it truly is. This doesn't appear to be a person in a costume. The details in the footage have left many questioning if this is solid proof of Bigfoot's existence. Aaron and most of the paranormal community believe so. Julius, on the other hand, and his now recruited assistant, aka our video editor, think the clip may have been doctored or created by AI. They talk about the frame rate not matching the original frame rate of the clip, amongst others. It's basically technical stuff, and they're convinced that this isn't real because of that. Sometimes, however, seeing is believing, and we can see the creature. You've seen it. Which one of these two sides are you tempted to stand with? Let us know in the comments section. There is an intriguing lore that suggests that there are various gateways around the world believed to be portals to different realms. The idea is that these doorways are hidden in random, sometimes mysterious locations, only revealing themselves under certain circumstances. Let's take a look at 2 clips that explore this eerie possibility. In the first clip, 2 men were hiking deep into the woods when they came across something odd, a rock shaped like a door. But this wasn't just any rock. It had intricate patterns etched into it, creating an eerie resemblance to a doorway. What made it even stranger was its size, just about 2 feet tall, almost as if it were meant for something far smaller or older. There was an ancient, almost mystical vibe to it. In the second clip, another hiker came across a door in the middle of a path he frequently used. He'd never seen this door before until that particular day. This was an actual door, standing open, but its sudden appearance was beyond odd. What do you think? Could this really be a doorway to another world?
I can't.
No. Sorry.
Oh.
This next footage is definitely strange and has left people baffled. It involves a group of students returning from a school trip late at night. One girl had fallen behind, and someone was filming her as she ran to catch up with the bus. Just as she was about to reach it, something grabbed her, causing her to fall backwards. When the footage was enhanced, it revealed something even more bizarre. A large reptilian creature with an elongated tail crouching over her. The sight of such a creature has stirred a lot of speculation. Unfortunately, the video doesn't show what happened after that moment. While many viewers are suspicious of the footage and claim it might be a hoax, especially given how unusual the situation is, others are left wondering if it could be real. What do you make of it?
I can't.
No. Sorry.
Oh.
Another milestone in technology has been reached with the unveiling of the world's first hypersonic jet, now ready for testing. This revolutionary aircraft is said to have a capability to fly from London to New York in just 1 hour. Hypersonic technology, which allows planes to travel at speeds greater than 5 times the speed of sound, is transforming the future of air travel. This new jet could drastically change long-distance flights, reducing the hours spent in the air by a significant margin. However, as promising as it sounds, there are still challenges to overcome in terms of safety, infrastructure, and environmental impact before it can be made commercially viable. What do you think about the possibility of hypersonic travel? A group of local men had been hearing strange noises coming from an old abandoned house not far from town, so one night they decided to investigate. As they approached the eerie building, they stood outside, watching it carefully. It wasn't long before they noticed something unsettling. From one of the windows, two glowing orbs were visible. At first, they thought it might just be light reflecting off something inside the house, but then the orbs blinked. These weren't just reflections, but the eyes of something. The orbs moved around, scanning the area as though watching the man. Luckily, the window was sealed with metal bars, meaning whatever creature was behind those glowing eyes was trapped inside the house, or perhaps it simply couldn't leave for some unknown reason. What do you think? Could this be a paranormal entity or something else entirely? Share your thoughts in the comments section. This family claims to be under a curse with unusual facial structures that look almost inhuman. During an interview, they mentioned that they weren't born this way, but believed that something changed them, leading them to think a curse might be the cause. While science offers many explanations for deformities or rare genetic conditions, it's intriguing that they believe something supernatural is involved. There are conditions such as craniofacial abnormalities or genetic mutations that could explain physical changes, but their story adds a layer of mystery that can't easily be dismissed. Do you think this is truly a curse, or could there be a scientific explanation that hasn't been uncovered yet? The question of what happens after we die has fascinated people for centuries, and this footage seems to add a unique perspective to that mystery. While there are countless theories ranging from religious interpretations to scientific explanations, take a look at this footage that seems to explain it.
Death is similar to the moment of sleep. We are entering in an other realm. During sleep, the physical body remains attached to the etheric body. It represents the source of life. The astral body and the ego leave the physical plan for their own dimension in the invisible. At the moment of death, the etheric body, the astral body, and the ego leave the body for good. For 3 days, the etheric substance dissolves, while the deceased watch the representation of its entire life. Once the etheric body is dissolved, the individual enters fully into the world of the soul. While expanding to the higher worlds, most of the souls will pass through the 7 occult spheres, one by one. Starting from the moon sphere, for a third of human lifetime. Followed by Mercury, Venus, the Sun, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. Then, start the return journey to the next incarnation. For most beings, a cycle between 2 incarnations lasts more or less 1,000 years. From last century, we have souls coming back faster, without accomplishing a full cycle of spiritual transformation. As if a karmic necessity attracted more souls to live a collective event. Remember, nothing happens without our consent. This is a universal law.
This is very interesting. What do you think? A man was out hiking with his dog when something terrifying happened. Out of nowhere, a strange being from within the trees started chasing after him. He didn't get a clear shot of whatever it was, but you can hear it let out this chilling sound. The creature seemed to be on two legs. Panicked, the man grabbed his dog and tried to run, but they both ended up falling. In a rush, he let go of the dog and climbed a tree to get to safety, leaving the dog wandering on the ground below. As he's clinging to the tree, you can hear the creature's footsteps getting closer and closer. What happens next? Well, we don't know. The clip just ends. Given the clip was uploaded, we know he safely made it out, but the big question on everyone's mind is, what was that thing? Like most of life's mysteries, we don't have an answer for this one, but whatever it was, it scared him enough to climb a tree, leaving his dog behind in the panic. Could it have been something like Bigfoot, or perhaps another type of cryptid? The possibilities are unsettling as they are endless. Let's take a closer look at this strange light captured in the sky in Guizhou, China in October 2022. The footage shows what appears to be an eerie glow, almost as if something is up there in the clouds. The lights are spread out, and the way they move and pulse makes it seem like they're coming from a massive craft, though nothing solid is visible. It's almost as if the craft is cloaked, but the lights can't hide. The unusual behavior and size of the lights have led many to speculate that this is evidence of an extraterrestrial presence, especially since there are no obvious explanations like planes or drones. So what do you think?
¡A la verga! ¡A la verga!
A security guard was at a parking lot one night when he started hearing some strange noises coming from behind a few cars. Curious, he got closer to investigate. That's when he noticed something moving behind the tires of this huge truck. Then suddenly, a small head popped up, peeking at him from behind the wheels. But what was it? Some say it's a duende, those mischievous little creatures from folklore, but this one looked bigger than usual. Others think it might have been a child, but what would a child be doing out there at that time of night?
¡A la verga! ¡A la verga!
What was that? What was that?
During a road trip near Provo Airport in Utah, USA, a family was enjoying a scenic drive when a teenage boy began filming the stunning, fiery sunset. As he pointed his camera out the window, something strange caught his eye, interrupting the peaceful moment. In the cornfield, along the side of the road, there appeared to be someone or something walking through the stalks. It was a furry creature covered from head to toe and walking upright like a human. Even the girl in the car noticed and yelled, "What was that?" Intrigued and a little freaked out, the mother took the footage and posted it to YouTube. She wasn't much of a Bigfoot enthusiast before, but seeing that creature made her rethink everything.
What was that? What was that?
Oh, look at the smoke.
What the fuck?
Dude, that's some f***ing alien.
No, I've been seeing that all over the internet though.
Did you get a good video of it?
This footage from Tampa Bay is truly fascinating. A couple driving home spotted something unusual in the sky, a mysterious black ring floating above them. The ring looked like a circle of black smoke just hanging there in the air. Interestingly, this isn't the first time people have seen something like this. These strange rings have been reported in various parts of the world, leading some to believe they could be portals or some sort of atmospheric anomaly. But what do you think? Is it a natural phenomenon, something man-made, or could it really be a portal to another dimension?
Oh, look at the smoke.
What the fuck?
Dude, that's some alien.
No, I've been seeing that all over the internet though.
Did you get a good video of it?
A man ventured into the woods one night to test an interesting theory. He sought out a large tree and began knocking on it. This is something known as tree knocking, which Bigfoot enthusiasts believe is a form of communication with the elusive creature. For most of the video, nothing unusual happened, but then at the very end, a loud rumble echoed nearby. While we didn't see what caused the sound, the man is convinced that it was Bigfoot responding to his tree knocking. Could this be real evidence, or is it just coincidence? Share your thoughts.
Tá aí, cara, tá aí. Cuidado, Léo, pelo amor de Deus, velho. Vai, vem, vem.
A group of men were out exploring an abandoned house when things took a terrifying turn. As the one behind the camera wandered through the rooms, he began to hear strange noises coming from a particular area. Alarmed, he called over his friends and they all headed toward the room to investigate. As soon as they opened the door, they were met with this, a pale creature squatting on the ground. This eerie being was entirely white from head to toe, with twisted horns that curled backwards and downwards. Its eyes were pure black, and it looked dangerously emaciated, almost skeletal. The moment they laid eyes on the creature, fear overtook them, and they all screamed, bolting out of the building as fast as they could. It seems that curiosity had come at a price, teaching them a hard lesson about poking around in places where they weren't meant to be. But now the question remains, what was this creature? Could it be some kind of goat-like cryptid or an alien species?
Tá aí, cara, tá aí. Cuidado, Léo, pelo amor de Deus, velho. Vai, vem, vem.
We often hear people claim that mainstream news is fake or controlled by the shadow government or elite. But how true are these claims? Maybe this footage gives us a glimpse into that mystery. During a live news broadcast, the cameraman accidentally strayed a little too far from his intended shot and aired something unexpected live. In the room where the news was being filmed, there were people wearing strange white masks. Now, the big question is, were we supposed to see that? This is why I always say, when you're buying a new home, it's essential to do some research first. Take a look at this chilling footage. A woman had recently bought a new house, but after some time, she began acting strangely. It got so bad that someone had to call the police on her. When they arrived, even the officers seemed hesitant to enter the room she was in. You can hear her growling and screeching like an animal inside. Despite their efforts, they couldn't get her to come out. The officers, growing more concerned, decided to go outside and try approaching her through the window, but what could have caused such a terrifying reaction? Here's the eerie backstory. The house used to belong to a notorious serial killer who kept body parts from his victims hidden throughout the home. Some believe that after the woman moved in, she became possessed by the dark energy left behind by the killer's horrific crimes. What do you think? Could this be a case of paranormal possession, or is something else at play? A farmer went out to the coop one day and stumbled upon something truly bizarre among the chickens. Hanging around the wire fence of the coop was what appeared to be a chicken-sized spider. The massive, creepy-looking creature seemed to be attempting to get inside the fence. At first glance, it seemed like a spider, but something was off. It was moving in a way that just didn't add up for a spider. It was almost too weird to believe. I showed the footage to Julius, who immediately suspected it was some sort of Halloween prank. He said it was a chicken dressed in a spider costume, which gave us a good laugh. Even Aaron agreed something was off. But what do you think? Was this just a harmless joke, or could there be something else going on here?
And them little scratches. That's little hand marks. Look on the roof. Look at all them scratches up there. Look. I don't even know what that say. That should look like blood and everything.
This van you're looking at is no ordinary vehicle. It's a trafficker's van. The reason these operations are so well coordinated and managed to stay hidden for so long is that these vehicles are specifically fortified for the job. In this footage, a group of women are inspecting the van, and what they find is chilling. The van has been completely remodeled. There's a power system with wires running through the passenger seat up front, and the interior is covered in some kind of thick, soundproof material. Once the doors are shut and sealed, not a single sound escapes, and on top of that, you can even see scratch marks on the roof, evidence of the horrors that might have taken place inside. I got chills watching this. These people are disturbingly well prepared, and it's terrifying to think how well hidden these operations can be. Stay safe out there, and always be aware of your surroundings.
And them little scratches. That's little hand marks. Look on the roof. Look at all them scratches up there. Look. I don't even know what that say. That should look like blood and everything.
What you're looking at is believed to be one of the oldest and most well-preserved dinosaur fossils ever discovered. It was unearthed by miners in Canada, and this incredible find is the remains of a nodosaur. This type of dinosaur, known for its armored body and herbivorous diet, lived around 110 million years ago. The level of detail on the fossil is remarkable, with parts of the skin, scales, and even armor plating still intact. It's almost as if the creature was frozen in time, offering scientists a rare and invaluable glimpse into the past. Isn't it fascinating to think about how this dinosaur might have roamed the earth long before us? There are many theories about creatures living deep within the earth, and this miner with years of experience under his belt is no stranger to them. Though he's never encountered one himself, he firmly believes they exist. In this particular footage, while working in a cave, he suddenly starts hearing eerie, moaning sounds echoing through the mine. Take a listen. Did you catch that? It's unsettling. The miner is convinced that the sounds are coming from one of those mysterious underground creatures lurking beneath the surface. So what do you think? Could this be unnatural cave acoustics, or is something more mysterious going on beneath the Earth's surface?
Escúchalo.
This man is visiting a graveyard, and he hears something unsettling, a woman crying. I know what you're thinking. Oh, Steve, it's a graveyard. People mourn their loved ones all the time. And I agree, but he comes from a culture where weeping women in graveyards, like the way this woman seems to be doing, and the time she's doing it, is tied to spirits or tragic legends. It didn't help that he looked around and found a woman dressed entirely in white, kneeling in front of a tombstone. She wept softly, raising and bowing her head as if in deep sorrow. He recorded this because he thought she was not human, or at least if she was communing with some spirits. Unnerved by the sight, he refused to approach her as he couldn't tell if she was an actual mourner or something more supernatural. What do you think? Could this be a real person mourning a loved one, or perhaps a ghostly figure trapped in eternal grief? Hurricanes are intense and terrifying when they approach, but have you ever heard about the eye of the hurricane?
This is gonna change some lives, y'all. Change some lives.
In stark contrast to the chaos surrounding it, the eye of a hurricane is said to be the calmest part. Anything caught within the eye experiences an eerie sense of calm, almost like a peaceful break from the destruction swirling around it. Take a look at this footage, captured on October the 9th during Hurricane Milton. A helicopter flying inside the eye recorded what it was like. The scene is surreal, completely calm, almost like a regular day. You wouldn't think a massive storm is raging just outside. It's fascinating and terrifying at the same time, seeing the eye of the storm in such tranquility in the middle of the chaos.
This is gonna change some lives, y'all. Change some lives.
This is a training board, and I'm going to... Mom, is that? Why is this door opening?
This woman was alone in a dance studio filming herself. There was a huge mirror behind her, reflecting the room, but as she was recording, something unsettling happened. Look closely behind her. A dark shadow passes by in the reflection. The woman noticed it almost immediately, and you can see the fear on her face as she quickly bolts out of the studio. What do you think this could be? A trick of the light, or something more eerie lurking in the shadows?
This is a training board, and I'm going to... Mom, is that? Why is this door opening?
I don't know how. The baby looks just like him.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, so you were in denial. Because he has a funny little chin, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
Yeah, and the baby have that same little chin.
Oh my God. Ooh.
Tarot readings have always sparked mixed opinions. Some believe they offer genuine insight or guidance, while others view them as pure entertainment. Back in the day, Miss Cleo became a well-known figure through her televised tarot readings, and her commercials were everywhere, making tarot readings seem more mainstream. In one of her commercials, a mother called in asking if a man was the father of her child. Miss Cleo, though, through her tarot cards, claimed to know the answer right away, and she gave such vivid descriptions as if she was there. Some religious groups strongly believe that tarot readings involve dark or mystical forces, considering them a form of forbidden magic. On the other hand, skepticism often argues that these shows are scripted to entertain the public. What do you think? Do tarot readings reveal hidden truths, or is it all just for show?
I don't know how. The baby looks just like him.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, so you were in denial. Because he has a funny little chin, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
Yeah, and the baby have that same little chin.
Oh my God. Ooh.
A man visiting the Degai Cave in Fiji captured something truly bizarre during his adventure: a bat. But not just any bat, a bat with 3 heads lying lifeless on the ground. The Degai Cave is believed to be linked to the mythical serpent god Degai, who played a central role in Fiji's creational myths. Sightings of strange creatures, eerie happenings, and mystical encounters are common in these stories, but then there's also the possibility that this bat could just be a case of deformity. What do you think?
Can trees move? If your answer was no, then watch this footage, which will surely shock you. Yes, that's an actual tree moving. If you're familiar with the movie The Matrix, you might notice a resemblance to the movements of the Sentinels. But the question remains, do trees truly move like this? Or do trees even have the ability to move at all? The answer is, while a few tree species exhibit a slow form of locomotion over an extended period, no tree is naturally meant to move in such a manner. This begs one question though: what's happening here? The truth is, we don't have a definitive answer, but if I were to venture a guess, I'd lean towards this being the result of CGI. I mean, I wouldn't want them to exist, and there's no logical way to explain it. Can you imagine what trees would do to us if they could move like that after the deforestation and destruction we've brought up on the planet? I don't know about you, but there's no way I'm believing this is real. How about you? This next one is for the hunters, but before I show it to you, do you guys have any weird encounters when hunting? If you do, please share it in the comments. If you have pictures or footage, please mail them to classifiedcaptures@gmail.com and we'll gladly show them and give you the credit. Coming back to our footage, take a look. Do you see those beady eyes and the head it belongs to? This was captured by a hunter while out on a hunt. While it's easy to miss the first time, the hunter insists that this was a paranormal being that was tailing him whenever he came to the forest. It always appears and reappears in spots that are hard for him to see. On the day he recorded, however, he was intentional about finding it and taking evidence because everyone laughed at him whenever he spoke about it. Do you see it too? Do you believe it's real, or do you think out of desperation he might have resulted in CGI to prove his point? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Speaking of Bigfoot, do you know what they sound like? Well, we have footage from Rough Mountain, Colorado, where there are alleged Bigfoot vocalizations. Watch and listen.
What is that?
That was Bigfoot.
Seriously?
Do you hear those sounds? They don't sound like any animal you know, do they? The individual recording is convinced that they're from Bigfoot and tells the family member asking about it the same thing. And guess what? After they were done with their activity, on their way back, they actually came across footprints that were much larger than any associated with your average man or any other creature for that matter. They were then very convinced that they were dealing with a Bigfoot. Looking at these footprints and the strange vocalizations, do you think they may have really encountered Bigfoot? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. In various documentaries, we often witness a diverse array of animals scaling trees for their afternoon siestas or a quick lunch. And guess what? This video clip from Marrakesh, Morocco is no different. But hold on, this one's got something truly remarkable. Take a look. In this footage, numerous goats are observed approaching a specific tree known to bear argon peppers resembling olives crushed by the side of a muddy road. If someone had told me that goats would one day engage in the intriguing and elegant art of tree climbing, I would have required significant persuasion. But look at this, these goats are scaling the argon tree like they're born mountaineers. They reach the tippy top where the argon peppers hang, and they feast away while balancing on the tree's sturdy branches. As a result, They've earned the moniker Tree Goats of Morocco. Here's the twist. Why on earth do these goats have a thing for the argan tree? Are they just after the argan peppers, or is there something more enticing about this tree? Is it only for the argan peppers it produces? What other speciality attracts these goats to the argan tree? My dear Moroccans, what do you all have to share on this? For our next footage, we travel all the way to Oregon. Imagine being deep in the woods, camping alone, and then you hear knocks and thumps on your vehicle. How would you react? Now, stop imagining and watch this footage because that's exactly what's happening here.
I'd be in the back of my truck right now. I don't even know what time it is. And there's someone walking around my truck right now. If you can hear that, it's pretty loud. I don't really know what to do. I'm a little freaked out right now. And it's like pitch black outside. Probably like 2 in the morning. And he just keeps walking around.
Meet Noah, the guy in this video. He's out camping in his truck all alone deep within the remote Oregon woods. He expected to be by himself for the night until he started hearing someone knocking on his truck around 2 a.m. in the morning.
He's touching my truck. How am I supposed to get him away? He's literally knocking. He's literally knocking on my truck. I don't think he knows there's anyone in here. He keeps walking around. I don't get it. Let's see if he goes away eventually.
The knocks grow louder and more insistent as if someone urgently tries to break in. Noah's breath quickens, worry etched on his face. He glances at his phone. It's 2:30. With a quick decision, he flicks on his flashlight hoping to scare off the intruder. And just like that, the knocks cease. As dawn breaks, he speeds away back to civilization. It's only then that he notices strange marks on his car, marks that weren't there before. He's convinced it was just a random person trying to break in. But think about it, he was in the middle of nowhere. Could it have been a Bigfoot, or was it someone also out camping and worried? If that's the case, why did they run when the flashlights came on? I mean, there are pieces missing from this puzzle. Could he be pulling a stunt for a taste of fame? Who's to say? We might never find out. Here's the bottom line. Don't camp solo. Noah got lucky, but you might not be as fortunate. What do you think about the whole thing, though? Tell us in the comments section.
A trail camera set in the woods was capturing a raccoon eating. Nothing unusual to be spotted on a trail cam. However, as the raccoon is moved from the camera toward the darkness of the woods, something strange happens. An orb from the sky begins to descend toward the direction of the raccoon. When you look carefully, you'll notice that even the raccoon stops to look at the orb before scurrying into the darkness. What could this luminous orb signify? Was it a mere firefly flickering in the night, an unidentified flying object weaving through the cosmic expanse, or perhaps something beyond the grasp of our understanding? Imagine getting a foot massage from a masseuse named Nibbles. Well, now imagine this masseuse also being a gator that can easily bite your toes off or at least take a chunk out of your foot. That's the exact situation with this man and his bizarre choice for a masseuse. Am I the only one who finds the whole thing crazy, or do you guys think it's cool? Whatever you guys think, I believe this man is one of the luckiest ones alive to be playing with a very dangerous animal and getting away with it. Whatever you do, don't ever attempt this at home. You hear me? Keep your limbs safe. Thank you. If you've made it this far, could you please hit the like button, subscribe, and even drop a comment if you haven't already? It goes a long way to make it possible to create more videos for you. Thank you for doing so. Moving back to the day's episode.
What would you do if you heard weird noises while camping out in the woods alone? Run? Mind your own business? Try to call for help? Well, not the man who recorded the footage I'm about to show you. He gets to the location and he's greeted with this strange and bad smell. That should have been his cue to leave, But instead, he explores the area some more until he spots something strange in the distance. Naturally, he freaks out seeing whatever it is staring at him. Now, hang on a second. There's something staring at him. But wait, what is it? What is that thing? We've watched and rewatched the footage, but we still can't put our finger on it. Whatever it is looks like some sort of Halloween costume. Don't get me wrong, but it doesn't in any way look lifelike, at least not to my eyes. Now, here's the kicker. Am I just being overly critical? Seriously, I can't help but wonder. What's your take? Do you think that thing that appears in the camera view is real? Tell us in the comments section, as we'd love to know. This humanoid creature was spotted and filmed one night on the streets of northeastern America. The pale, slender creature looks to be moving in the dead of night, initially mistaken for a human, possibly a burglar. A closer look at its movements and features reveal a sinister truth. Take a good look. It's like this creature is stuck in a permanent crouch, creeping at an eerie and oddly slow pace. Here's the kicker. This creature stands out with its extreme paleness like a ghostly figure. And check this out. It seems to know it's out of place, constantly moving its head, scanning the surroundings with an air of frantic awareness. Skeptics who have come across this creature believe it's a rake, a paranormal creature that traumatizes its victims. Some think it's an alien, while others think it's a homeless person. But what do you think it is? Share your thoughts in the comments section.
The mysterious behavior of clouds in the sky as captured in this footage adds another layer of intrigue to the unexplainable phenomena we often encounter. Unlike typical cloud formations, this patch of clouds exhibits unusual movement and shape-shifting, deviating from the norm typically associated with clouds. In trying to understand this phenomenon, one might consider various factors such as atmospheric conditions, wind patterns, or even the possibility of an unconventional cloud formation. However, without more context or scientific analysis, we're left to our imaginations and speculation. Do you have any explanation? Share it with us in the comments section. Before we move on in the next video, just another reminder, if you still haven't liked, commented, or subscribed to the channel yet, please do so now. I wouldn't want to send a Bigfoot after you. And don't forget to share with your friends and family as well. Thank you very much. Next, let's take a look at what I like to consider one of nature's show-offs. In broad daylight, this strange thing happened. There was water pouring from the sky at just a small part of the street, and when pedestrians looked up to check who or what could have been pouring the water at that specific spot, they realized it was from the sky. It was just rain. This was an interesting occurrence by all standards. Sometimes during a rain shower, clouds might be unevenly spread, causing rain to fall in one area while leaving another dry. This can happen because of the way clouds form and move, leading to localized rain in certain spots, even in broad daylight. While what I just described is an occurrence we have seen several times, this particular one is just new and quite frankly, a bit scary. Do you think the footage is real, or could there be some digital manipulation ongoing? Share your thoughts in the comments section as always.
If you thought that was out of the ordinary, I wonder what you'd make of this next footage. Yes, that's an actual, massive ape-like creature with fur all around and a muscular build. Unlike other ape-like creatures that we know, however, this one is built like a human and actually moves like one. If you pay attention to its movements in the capture, you'll realize this, but that's not all. It seems like the Bigfoot has noticed there's someone filming it. It keeps trying to hide behind the trees, albeit unsuccessfully, because we can still see it. Is the video real, though? A part of me doesn't think so. The footage keeps going in and out of focus as though someone was intentionally causing it to appear so. Why, one might wonder, But here's where the plot thickens, at least for me. I can't help but think the footage isn't real and that they're trying to throw us off. Amidst this tapestry of mystery, I offer my humble musings, a mere 5 cents worth. But what's yours? Numerous reports of mermaid sightings have made headlines, but skepticism still surrounds their existence. Get ready to challenge the stereotypes surrounding these legendary creatures. Watch this video clip. Next, we see a man who seems to have fallen from a flat object, perhaps a boat. It looks like he was using it for balance as he moved. Right beside the red object, there's a glimpse of a creature's tail, a hint of its hasty retreat through the water. Now, let's talk about the man's fall. The best guess, the sudden appearance of the creature caught him off guard and caused him to lose his balance. His paddle, his only anchor. He scrambles back onto the ship, and intriguingly, the creature is still visible on the other side, fading into the depths as he paddles away. Now, the big question, what exactly was that? The uploader insists it's a mermaid, but honestly, I'm not seeing it. Yet others who've seen this clip are convinced. One user even wrote, "Land has birds, water has fish. We have elephants, they have whales. So why wouldn't there be some sort of other human-like creature in the ocean?" Seems kind of logical, right? But let's really think about it. I'll leave that decision up to you. What do you think, though? Do you think there was a mermaid? Let us know in the comments. Fire doesn't just form out of thin air now, does it? If you answered yes, then how do you explain this? And yes, you are looking at some sort of fiery bubble that suddenly appeared in the sky, but just as quickly as it appeared, it disappeared without a trace. What could it have been? Well, no one knows. All we have are speculations, including our very own. Some suggest it could be a secret weapon that was being tested, while others think it could be a paranormal event. There's not much information to go on with, so it's hard to prove or disprove anything. Either way, what do you think we might be dealing with? Tell us in the comment section below. Our next captcha sends us all the way to Japan. And no, it's not about shinigamis or ninjas or anything of that sort. Instead, it's about crop circles. Bet you didn't expect that, but what comes to mind when you see these crop circles? Aliens, right? With all the alien buzz going on around, when I saw the captcha, I automatically assumed that they were left there by aliens, but turns out there's actually a logical explanation. These were not the result of anything alien, but simply put, the experiment of aliens, I mean some scientists in Japan. Based on documentation acquired from the Ministry of Agriculture, Forestry, and Fisheries in Japan, it was revealed that in 1973, a specific land area close to Nishinan City was designated for experimental forestry. Among the experiments conducted in this area, one of them aimed to assess the impact of tree spacing on tree growth. The result of the experiment is what you see on your screens. Disappointing, yes, but at least we have answers. Unlike our next clip. This image is said to have been captured by a cam in what appears to be a multifunctional room, serving both as a sleeping area and a makeshift kitchen in a 2-in-1 kind of hostel room. In the photo, 2 people sit, each engrossed in their space, seemingly unaware of the enigmatic presence hovering above them. This ghostly figure bears an uncanny resemblance to the chilling Dementors featured in the Harry Potter series. This looks like a perfect scenario embodying the statement, "There is more than meets the eye." People who left comments on this image suggested that the apparition might not have been visible to those present in the room. According to some, one needs a unique gift to see such entities with their own eyes. Seeing through the camera lens is a different ballgame altogether, though. Everyone in the paranormal community believes this is legit, but my logical mind isn't accepting it. What do you think, though? Could this actually be real, or is the uploader of the capture messing with us? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. I don't know if you've ever watched the movie Life, but this footage gives me traumatizing flashbacks of the Calvin creature. Imagine this. While going about his day, a homeowner spots something utterly eerie perched on the corner of his roof. What in the world is that thing? It looks like some sort of a spider with multiple legs, but unlike a spider whose legs are on both sides of its body, the legs of this creature are all around its body and they look more like tentacles than spider legs. Strangely, the creature seems rooted in place, yet its rhythmic heaving movements mimic breathing. While skeptics dismiss it as a hoax, others entertain the eerie possibility that it's a voracious human-eating spider. Could this weird creature be some new species of spider, or could this be some really good CGI? Personally, I believe if that thing was a spider, whoever posted this would not be alive to do so. But probably that's just me. What do you think? For our next footage, we visit Mother Russia. Take a look. What you see on your screen was actually captured by some school children who were out in the woods doing what young boys do. They expected to be alone, but unbeknownst to them, they were actually invading the space of a creature that resides in the area. From the footage, we can see it moving in the background. The young kids believed they met the Yeti, and I can't fault them for thinking so because I was not there with them. One thing bothers me though. The Yeti is described as having white fur, but what we see in the footage clearly does not. This leaves me conflicted. I'm currently wondering if our ideologies on the Yeti have been wrong all this while, or if the boys are simply lying so they could get some clout. What do you think? Now imagine setting up a trail camera to capture wildlife, and instead, you captured this. Did you see that? Did you see them? Those odd-looking balls of light. The man who originally posted this could not seem to make out what he'd captured. After it was uploaded, the internet did what it does best: provide answers. What do you think that is? If you thought anything than a cat, you were extremely wrong. While it may look puzzling at first, anyone who's been around cats will recognize that those lights are nothing more than eyes belonging to cats at night. What do you think? Before you move on to the next clip, please don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and even drop a comment in the comments section. It goes a long way to help us produce more videos for you. Thank you very much for doing so, it means a lot. Moving back to today's episode. This strange phenomena was captured on a security cam in Mexico. A rain of yellow-headed birds fell from the sky. While some managed to take flight again, a significant portion lay lifeless on the ground. Now it's time to bring in the experts, the puzzle solvers, the brilliant minds determined to uncover nature's deepest mysteries. A possibility emerges. Could it be the shadow of a predator, a fearsome entity that caused these birds to abandon the skies and take refuge upon the earth? But before we latch onto that idea, let's pause. It doesn't quite add up. Why? Well, even the most fearsome predator couldn't explain the sheer numbers of birds that came plummeting down. As of now, no conclusive evidence has emerged to demystify this event. But here's the question. What's your theory on what triggered this unusual phenomenon? Still on questionable footage, you might want to see this mysterious one. The footage starts with a man walking out of the house after apparently hearing something move on their roof. After walking out for a bit, he sees it hiding in the shadows with its eyes glistening or glowing. The man naturally freaks out, and perhaps this creature too, as it quickly moves out of view. Determined to see what creature he was seeing on his roof, the man moves to the other side of the house, and that's when things get really disturbing. Instead of a creature in all its full glory, he's met with the haunting sight of skeletal remains, leaving nothing but a ghostly presence. It looks like a wolf made up of shadows the first time he saw it, if you ask me, but there are no known creatures that are like that. Is this an elaborate hoax, or are we dealing with the real deal? It looks like a hoax, if you ask me. Could we be dealing with the real deal, or is this the result of CGI creation? Tell us in the comments section.
The tranquil woods can often be a haven of serenity. For the individual who sent this footage in, that tranquility took an eerie turn when he stumbled upon an unsettling sight. There you can see what looks like a little girl wearing a blue dress with pigtails running. A child running alone in the woods should be the least of your problems in this situation. As you look closer, there seems to be something off. The way she's running is inhuman, as if she is hopping. Slowing down and turning her head, the entity revealed a visage that defied the norms of humanity. The semblance of a child faded, replaced by an uncanny transformation reminiscent of an animal donning the guise of a young girl. Could that have been a shapeshifter? Share your thoughts. In this footage, a group of men stumbled upon a perplexing sight, a strange creature on a rock. It exhibited characteristics reminiscent of black goo and displayed autonomous movement. In their attempt to unravel the mystery, the men resorted to using a knife, hoping to gain insight into the nature of this peculiar substance. However, the material proved resilient, reattaching itself after being cut. The baffling behavior raises questions about the origin and composition of the substance. I mean, there's no substance on Earth that looks like or behaves like that, unless, of course, the symbiote from Spider-Man found its way into our dimension.
The natural world is a realm of constant change and transformation, but I bet not many of you have seen anything like what I'm about to show you. I know the Earth looks like it's breathing, but that could not be further from what's actually happening here. On a fateful day, September the 28th, 2018, the tranquil city of Palu, nestled in the heart of central Sulawesi, Indonesia, was thrust into the throes of a devastating earthquake that forever altered its landscape. This seismic upheaval is attributed to strike-slip faulting, where forces tugged either in a north-south or west-east direction. The sheer intensity of the movement led to an eerie transformation. The soil itself liquefied, triggering a devastating aftermath. The rippling effect of this liquefaction wreaked havoc, obliterating 110,000 homes and claiming the lives of 6,500 individuals. A heart-wrenching detail emerges. Numerous souls were engulfed under a 9-foot cloak of mud and debris, a consequence of the soil's disintegration at a shallow depth of 17.703 kilometers. As much as I'd want to prevent and give you all the technical details of the event, one thing is certain in all of this. The lives of Palu's residents were forever scarred after this. If this is a reminder of anything, it's a stark reminder of nature's dual nature. Its ability to balance and harmonize while also unleashing chaos and destruction without seeking permission. Whether these consequences arise from the actions of humanity or the intricate workings of geological phenomena, the result is the same, a world where the very ground beneath us can shift, ripple, and transform, showcasing both its beauty and its formidable power. Scary, huh? Imagine you planned a fun night for 3 with your besties, only to meet up and find a 4th person you didn't even know was joining the party. Well, that's what happened to the owners of this picture. 3 ladies were having fun one night when one decides to take a picture of her 2 friends, only to capture a 3rd person in the frame. The entity looks like a person, a bald man with his head bowed and slouching. Looking at the head, you can see a huge long nose and dark hollow eyes staring down. I don't know how the ladies reacted to this picture, but if it was me, I would have that room blessed and sanctified. Unless, of course, they were lying. But then again, I wasn't there now, was I?
What the fuck is this?
In In the hushed stillness of Appalachia, a man ventured out from the shelter of his house, drawn by a mysterious cacophony that had infiltrated the tranquil night. The ambient sounds, initially indistinct, metamorphized into an unsettling symphony of screeching and the haunting bleating of a goat. The disconcerting nature of the sounds sparked a chilling question in the man's mind. Was this an encounter with a mythical being? A skinwalker, perhaps, shrouded in the legends of the region? The elusive skinwalker said to possess the ability to assume various forms, embodying the eerie tales passed down through generations. Alternatively, a mere human element infused the night with a palpable sense of concern. Could the distressing sounds be the desperate cries of a person in trouble, echoing through the Appalachian landscape? The man, not knowing what it could be, ran back inside for safety. What would you have done in this situation? While at a camping site driveway with her daughter, a woman saw what she thought was a human on the top of a mountain. She pointed it out to her daughter, but she didn't see it, so she decided to take a short video. Back home, as they reviewed the footage, a shock wave of disbelief washed over them. There, standing tall on the mountain's peak, was none other than Bigfoot, a creature of legend believed by some, doubted by many, now caught on camera. Zooming in for a closer look, they were able to discern the creature's colossal size, distinct strides, and telltale hints of fur which left no room for doubt. Shocked at their discovery, they decided to share it with the world. What do you make of it?
This captivating footage serves as a poignant reminder, nudging me to reassess my appreciation for the tranquility that nature often extends to us. It accentuates how effortlessly we can uncover the concealed marvels that lie within our environment's faults. The trail camera footage unfurling before our eyes was expertly captured by an enigmatic individual who remains shrouded in anonymity, staring the camera's gaze into the heart of the expansive woods. As we peer into this mysterious realm and attune our senses, an eerie symphony of deep resonating sounds emitted by elusive and unidentified creatures permeates the very air around us. A perplexing enigma takes shape. Could this be a meticulously orchestrated ruse with a troupe of performers skillfully employing vuvuzelas to mimic these unsettling tones? Is it plausible that directors artfully layered additional sound effects to create a spine-chilling illusion of unearthly creatures? Perhaps the notion of a Sasquatch even flits across our minds. The crux of the matter lies in pinpointing the origin of these reverberations, an enigma that demands our scrutiny. From what recesses do these sounds authentically emerge? And among the myriad creatures that inhabit this vast expanse, which among them could potentially lay claim to producing such distinctive sounds? Share your thoughts on what this could possibly be, as we'd like to hear them. Next, we have a creature whose presence in the media is as ancient as they come. This creature with glowing red eyes was caught on camera decades ago. I mean, as far back as the 1960s, it was seen by several individuals and published in the newspapers, but it disappeared as quickly as it appeared. But guess what? It's back, making a comeback in the modern day, haunting the woods once again. And this footage, supposedly campers snagged it on camera. They claim this thing came after them while they were deep in the woods. As remarkable and as vivid as their stories and videos are, I find it hard to believe that this footage is genuine. Call it my paranormal hunch at work once more. What do you personally think, though? Is this genuine, or are these guys just looking for their 5 minutes of fame? I truly believe that they are. Next, we've something we can all recognize. In fact, take a look at the footage. Now, it starts off as very uneventful, but after a few seconds, just around the side mirror of the vehicle, we see some eyes peering out. Now, as if having eyes appear from nowhere when you're sleeping in your vehicle in the woods was not scary enough, when you pay attention to the eyes that appeared, you realize that they're not human at all. In fact, they look like they belong to a wild creature, most likely a canine or wolf creature to be specific. But how's that possible? The angle at which those eyes appear make it evident that they most likely and definitely belong to a humanoid. But wolves aren't humanoids now, are they? So what exactly are we dealing with here? If you've been on this channel for a while, then I'm pretty sure you should have an intelligent guess by now. My team and I believe we could be dealing with the legendary Dogman. The individual filming adds that there's actually more than one Dogman creature and states that the howls we hear in the background are from the others. The vehicle shakes a bit, and our guess is that the creatures are responsible for it. The man lives through, so we can confidently state that he makes it out alive, but what do you think of the whole thing? Do those eyes truly belong to Dogman? Are we reading more meaning into something we shouldn't, or is the man simply playing with our intelligence? Share your thoughts in the comment section. Enjoy this beautiful footage of a lynx cat and tell us something that catches your fancy about these cats.
An individual managed to capture a striking image of this massive, thick, glowing white ring in the sky. While some natural phenomena such as weather patterns or atmospheric disturbances can potentially create such spectacles, it's difficult to ignore the possibility of a portal situation. The ring appeared to be stationary in the sky without any visible motion or changes in shape. The edges of the ring were well defined and seemed to emit a bright white light. The center of the ring was slightly darker but still emitted a faint glow. This phenomena has left many people wondering about its origin and purpose. About a quarter of the team at Classified Captures think this might be some natural phenomenon. Another quarter think this might be a portal and remain sitting on the fence or thinking it's a hoax. What about you? What do you think? Looks like it's raining fish. Literally. I mean, if this was a thing, there'd be no need for fishing. Just to make sure we're seeing the real thing, the man filming walks over and picks up a wiggling fish on the road. This is quite a sight to see. But how is this even possible? Well, some suggested a portal may be involved, whisking the fish from one realm to another. It's a captivating idea given the unusual nature of the event. But then there are the skeptics, quick to dismiss the spectacle as nothing more than a hoax concocted with CGI or AI, and yet others propose a more grounded explanation, that this is simply an instance of animal fall or fish rain caused by a waterspout. And indeed, that seems to be the most logical and potentially likely explanation. After doing some research, I discovered that when a waterspout forms, it can sweep up fish from bodies of water and deposit them elsewhere when it dissipates, creating the illusion of a fish rain. So, while the idea of portals and otherworldly phenomena may be tantalizing, sometimes the truth is a bit more down to earth. Characters like Headless Nick and other headless characters from popular movies have given us a love-hate relationship with headless characters. But what would you do if you ran into one of those characters in person? Well, what you are seeing is an actual headless individual, or at least an individual that looks like one that was captured on a home security camera. Now, the homeowner, of course, was freaking out and decided to upload the footage online.
Why, you ask? So we could confirm if this was real or not. Looking at it, what do you think? Real, or is someone just messing with her? For our next clip, we travel back in time to April 2019. What do you see when you look at the footage? There's a creature hiding behind the foliage, hoping it is not being seen. But you and I, alongside the individual who recorded it, can clearly see it. One question remains, however. What creature is that? While many answers may be subjective, I can't help but feel that we're looking at a Bigfoot trying its best to hide in plain sight. I know the video isn't very clear, but if you try very hard, you can see the creature's built in fur. The uploader was very sure it was not dealing with a bear or any other type of ape because they're practically not common or present in the area where he recorded the clip. That leaves only one culprit: Bigfoot. What do you think? What do you think these creatures in the sky could be? No, well, go ahead and guess. Done? Did you by any chance guess mosquitoes? Yes, they are, in fact, mosquitoes. Residents of Kamchatka, Russia, were in for a surprise when they were forced to evacuate the streets and stay inside their homes with all the doors and windows locked due to a mosquito infestation that, much like a storm, had taken over the entire area. The sheer number of mosquitoes was astounding, making it impossible to even step out of the house without being covered in them. The swarm was so thick that it was hard to see anything beyond it, creating a hazy atmosphere that made it difficult to breathe. The last one was a bit of an exaggeration, but you get the idea. While dealing with a few mosquitoes is easy with a swat or a clap of your hand, this swarm was far beyond anyone's control. The residents had to stay indoors and wait for the situation to be resolved before they could venture out again. The authorities worked tirelessly to eliminate the swarm, but it took several days of fumigation and spraying before the area was safe again. I don't know, but it makes me want to add the location to the list of places I would want to visit. So what say you? Would you try this weird Oreo cookie? The cream in the Oreo looks to be pulsating or moving. Could this be a real-life Oreo creation or perhaps just a clever trick of CGI? It's tough to say for certain without more information. As for me, well, I'm all for trying new things, but I think I might pass on this particular cookie. The pulsating cream gives me a bit of pause, you see. But hey, for those brave souls willing to take the plunge, who knows? It might just be a deliciously bizarre treat after all. Now that I think about it, who knows? I might actually try it. When it comes to dolls, I have a bittersweet feeling about them. They are fun to have, but when I remember Annabelle and Chucky, I'm not so sure if we're safe to have them around. Here we have a man who was on a treasure hunt in the woods when his metal detector picked up something in the ground close to a tree. The curious man went ahead to dig this thing out, but what he saw was rather puzzling. It was a doll's head with strange red markings on its face that made it look like something that was used for a ritual. Despite the eerie atmosphere, this man had no issues tampering with it. As he was inspecting the doll's head, he noticed an opening in the neck that led him to a treasure of coins. I guess he did find treasure after all. Something doesn't, however, sit right with me about a doll's with a head stuffed with coins. Am I just being paranoid, or is he being too reckless? Share your thoughts in the comments section. The age-old conspiracy surrounding the presence of extraterrestrial beings among us takes on a new dimension with the chilling footage captured by a vigilant observer.
Hey! Oh shit! Oh shit! Look at that! Oh, look at that! They stopped!
The sequence begins with the appearance of a colossal orb in the sky descending. As the orb gets closer, it splits into several other orbs that move into a formation.
From the audio of the footage, you can tell that the spectators and even the man filming this were all freaked out. And who can blame them? The cosmic waltz happening above transcends the realm of earthly explanation. But what do you think? Is this really happening, or is someone just messing with us? Share your thoughts. Have you ever experienced a situation where someone claims that they saw you in a place at a time when you were in a very different place somewhere else? Recently, a woman shared a bizarre experience on YouTube. Take a look. She received a video from the police one morning that showed her crawling around a car strangely and inhumanely, almost as if she were possessed. The footage was from her neighbor's security camera. What makes this story creepier is that the woman in the video was her, but she's absolutely certain that she was at home sleeping at the time and has no recollection of being outside. Some people suggested that she could have been sleepwalking, while others mentioned the possibility of the woman being on Ambien, a medication known to cause strange behavior. However, the woman did not mention that she was on any medication. Another theory that people have suggested is that the woman in the clip could be a shapeshifter. Shapeshifters are creatures that can transform into different shapes or forms, and some people believe that they exist in our world. One commenter even suggested that either possessed people or shapeshifters don't need to eat you to look like you, like a skinwalker supposedly does. If this is to be believed, it means there's a being going around her city or township, shape-shifting into her and probably other individuals and doing weird stuff. It's definitely bizarre and hard to explain. What do you make of it, though? Here we have another object that was seen in the sky. It was an oddly shaped-looking craft, or whatever this is, that was rotating in one place in the sky. Could this be some type of new technology being tested out, a glimpse into the future of aerial innovation, or perhaps it's just a drone buzzing about in the skies above? While you think of answers to this, remember that this was captured in the sky from what appears to be the window of a plane. If this is real, it must have taken some effort to keep all passengers quiet. But don't let me make you think this might be a hoax. What are your thoughts? In this clip, we're introduced to a massive wolf with dark fur and distinct white patterns. The whispers of folklore echo in our minds as we lay eyes on this colossal wolf. Some say it bears a resemblance to the legendary Wahila, or as some love to call it, the saber wolf. Legends have often described the Wahila as a creature larger and more aggressive than your typical wolf. I know, scary, right? Looking at this creature's size, demeanor, and characteristics, I believe that they align with the descriptions in these myths. Yet, amidst the awe and wonder, there are some in the paranormal community who question its authenticity. I, for one, am not one because I believe I've set my eyes on the saber wolf. What about you? You might be wondering what we have here. Allow me to introduce you, my friends, to Madame Waterbug. Despite their small stature, waterbugs are expert swimmers. Their legs are adapted for paddling, allowing them to navigate through the water with surprising agility. Some species can even capture air and carry it with them, essentially creating their makeshift scuba gear, enabling them to stay submerged for extended periods. Waterbugs are skilled hunters. Their specialized front legs are designed to seize and hold onto their prey. Once captured, they use their piercing mouthparts to inject enzymes that break down the insides of their unfortunate victims, turning them into a ready-to-consume soup. So while they may be small, these waterbugs are a testament to the fact that danger comes in all sizes, and whatever you do, don't ever try to pick one up.
Now, after a potentially groundbreaking discovery last year, NASA's James Webb Space Telescope is being used to investigate tentative evidence of a sign of life.
During a recent interview with the LBC network, Professor Niku Madhusudan, an astrophysicist at the University of Cambridge, discussed the possibility of finding life on the exoplanet K2-18b.
Okay, well, what would be the best result in terms of what you could find?
So there are two end member scenarios, so to speak. So we might find a very strong signal of dimethyl sulfide, showing us that robustly it is there in the atmosphere of this planet. And that would be quite remarkable.
According to Professor Madhusudan, there is a 50-50 chance of discovering life on K2-18b, which is located approximately 110 light-years from Earth in the constellation Leo. K2-18b is considered a super-Earth and is believed to have a similar composition to our planet. The exoplanet orbits a red dwarf star and is positioned within the star's habitable zone where the temperature is just right for liquid water to exist. While the discovery of life on K2-18b would be groundbreaking, Professor Madhusudan cautions that there is still much research that needs to be done before any definitive conclusions can be drawn.
The consequences are immense because you have to realize this is the first time we are seeing an Earth-like biomarker, would be seeing if it's confirmed.
Nonetheless, the possibility of finding life beyond our solar system is an exciting prospect and one that continues to captivate the scientific community and the public alike. Wouldn't you agree? Have you had a chance to see the video of the mysterious object in the sky yet? According to reports, someone captured footage of a fascinatingly unique glowing object hovering in the night sky. The object has an unusual shape that's transparent and, if you ask me, mesmerizing. It's difficult to determine the exact size of the object, but it does appear to be large. Although the cameraman struggles to keep it in focus, the object does appear to be stationary for an extended period. We're not sure what this is supposed to mean, but if this is real, then there's the need to find answers. What do you think, though? Is this authentic? If it is, what do you think we could be dealing with?
Do you think spirits like to mess with humans? Because that's the only plausible explanation for our next clip. In fact, take a look. The footage starts off with some odd smoky or mist-like creature forming on the right side of the vehicle. Within some seconds, the mist becomes rather solid and ran across the highway just before the vehicle got there. Bear in mind that this was recorded by the vehicle's dash cam, which means everything happened in basically a few seconds. The appearance of the being is ghostly and ethereal in nature, which leads us back to our question. Do spirits mess with humans? Was this mist messing with him as well? Why did it appear on the right when it clearly wanted to be on the left? Why didn't it wait for them to pay before crossing? Unless it wanted to be seen by them. But why? So many questions and yet no answers. Now, seeing this footage gives me the heebie-jeebies. If you were a pre-90s baby like me and grew up watching movies like Anaconda et al., you'd understand. Movies like that made my generation fear big snakes, but not Gen Z and some members of Gen Y. They enjoyed touching and helping snakes, which is exactly what we see in the footage. Here they are helping the snake cross the street. I guess that's a good thing because it helps preserve these snake species and keep their populations healthy. I can't even tell what species it is whenever I see a big snake. I just see an anaconda. To my snake enthusiasts out there, can you recognize the creature and tell us what exact species it is? Or was I right in calling it an anaconda?
Yup, a dragon. Someone actually posted this online as a clip of a real and genuine dragon. Naturally, this has thousands of individuals talking and debating its authenticity, and it's not very surprising. In various cultures, dragons are mythical creatures that are often depicted as large, majestic beings with wings and a serpent-like body. They're believed to have lived on Earth in ancient times. While this has some features similar to the legendary dragon, it has no wings or legs and is slithering up a rock. It's also got a pretty big head with thorns to match. Although it's large, it's not nearly as ginormous as a mythical dragon is expected to be. Naturally, the clip started a debate, with some believing it was real and many more believing it was nothing but CGI work from a movie. Simply put, that creature is not real. While I love dragons, I must say that this clip does have some red flags. I mean, I doubt a real dragon will have let you get that close enough to film it. The clip doesn't appear to be shot by drone or Trailcam either, which makes me doubt its authenticity. Nonetheless, everyone is intrigued by the possibility of a real-life modern-day dragon. In fact, a part of me wishes we were wrong and this was the real deal. But hey, that's just me. Also, what do you think? Do you think this could be authentic, or do you side with the masses that this is just CGI? Only the Avatar, master of all four elements, could stop them, but when the world needed him most, he vanished. Well, don't mind me, it had to be done. Someone captured this strange situation in a flowing water body. As the water was rushing, there appeared a strange humanoid figure, but just as quickly as it appeared, it disappeared into the waters. Many people have been trying to come up with theories to explain what caused this strange occurrence. One of the most common suggestions is that there is a gateway in the waters that transported this being to another dimension or civilization. This idea has been fueled by discussions about possible portals around the world, and this occurrence could be seen as evidence of their existence. Some also think that this could have been a water elemental in human form. You know, those ancient mythical beings made entirely of water, often depicted in fantasy as powerful entities capable of controlling bodies of water and associated with the forces of the ocean, lakes, and rivers. However, some skeptics believe that the video has been digitally manipulated using CGI to create the appearance of a humanoid figure in the water. What do you think? Speaking of creatures with pointed appendages, what do you think is happening with the antlers of this deer? If you've watched any of our previous videos, you would have caught me explaining how deer and other cervidae antlers are formed. I've also explained their shedding and growing process. To make sure you're being very good students, I'm going to ask questions instead of telling you what's going on. So, question number 1. What do you think is happening with the deer? Question number 2, is this something normal or is the deer sick? Start your answer with the word deer so I know you were responding to this. The best answers get a shout out in our next video. I can't wait to see the kinds of answers you guys come up with. Stepping away from Bigfoot, we have a very disturbing capture. Take a look. What do you think this is? A rake, an alien, or some other type of cryptid? The truth is, it doesn't look like any of these creatures if you ask me. Sure, it's got the white skin and alien physique to go with it, but when you truly think about it, you realize that this creature looks like it came from a different realm or a world. Unfortunately, try as we might, we can't match it to any other cryptid we know. What do you think this is? Am I missing something? Have you encountered something like this before? Share your experiences and theories with us in the comments section. A subscriber reached out for assistance in identifying a strange creature that was captured in footage that they allegedly recorded. The footage showed the creature standing in someone's compound behind a railing, appearing to be an alien or goblin-like figure. The creature stood awkwardly facing the camera, but its features were difficult to discern due to the lighting conditions, as it was late in the evening. Suddenly, another creature appeared out of nowhere behind the first one and ran across the compound out of the camera's view. This caused the first creature to flee as well. Once we got the clip and info, we decided to analyze it to see if we could determine where and when it was shot.
It didn't take too long for us to discover its origins, though. A team member saw a similar clip on one of the paranormal platforms, and that's when we discovered this was not real, but a cutscene from a video game called Abe's Odd World. A hiker captured a video of a mysterious object while out on a walk. He does appear to be filming from a mountainous location with cloudy weather. Despite being cloudy, the silhouette of a large craft could be seen hovering over a mountain with some intricate structure on it. Anyone who sees this will scream, "Alien!" Unless, of course, they've seen the movie District 9. A large chunk of those who saw it called it a UFO, while others speculated it might be a military base. However, one person pointed out that the video had to be fake, as this was a scene from the movie District 9. This led to a debate among internet users, with some stating it was the real deal, while others thought it was nothing more than just a hoax. Despite this controversy surrounding the video, it remains a mystery as to what the object was. What do you think? Do you believe that the video is authentic, or do you subscribe to the idea that it's a hoax?
Humans have always demonstrated a remarkable ability to adapt to their surroundings, and camouflage has played a crucial role in various contexts, especially in military scenarios. In this intriguing footage, we witness the art of human camouflage in action. The clip showcases the utilization of a concealed compartment beneath the ground, allowing the individual to appear and disappear with remarkable speed. In the next clip, you can see some trees on a hill, and from the trees, a man walks out covered in leaves. From his dress, he's likely a soldier engaged in training or on the battlefield. You'd never have guessed that he was even there. The video captures the fascinating ways in which humans harness their creativity to overcome challenges. The idyllic setting of a sunny beach took an unexpected turn as a beachgoer stumbled upon the perplexing sight of a mysterious creature's carcass. However, the remains were severely crushed, rendering the identification of the creature a challenging puzzle. In the absence of clear features, speculation runs wild. The possibility of it being the remains of a dog that met an unfortunate fate at sea emerged as a plausible explanation. As we sift through the sands of speculation, the identity of our beachside enigma remains shrouded in the mysteries of the sea. What do you think of the whole thing? As always, please do share your thoughts with us.
Late one night, a group of brave men set out to explore an abandoned building. Armed with a camera, they hoped to capture some interesting footage of their adventure. As they approached the building, they noticed something strange on top of the roof. It was a pale creature with a pair of glowing eyes. They quickly assumed that it was a rake, which is not too surprising given the dangerous cryptid is known for its stealth. Despite feeling scared and apprehensive, the men decided to cautiously approach the building after the creature vanished. They slowly made their way towards it, remaining vigilant and ready to run at a moment's notice. When they reached the building, they saw that one of the windows was open. Curiosity got the better of them, and they decided to take a quick peek inside. To their relief, there didn't seem to be anything dangerous or threatening inside the building. However, they wisely decided not to enter, as they knew that it was better to be safe than sorry. But just as they were about to leave, the creature suddenly reappeared on the roof, scaring them out of their wits. What do you make of this encounter? I know you sometimes don't like me giving my opinions on the subject, but either the team leader is overly dramatic or he needs to work on his acting because, well, his reactions just don't seem natural. But hey, what do I know? Wondering what you're looking at? Well, wonder no more. Late one night, a curious explorer was taking a stroll when he noticed something strange in the sky. From a distance, he saw what appeared to be a light descending from the sky. As they got closer, he realized that there was not one, but two crafts glowing in the night sky. As the explorer looked on in awe, he noticed that the crafts were round, shaped with small round orbs beneath them. The crafts moved slowly toward the ground until they eventually disappeared behind some trees. Now, what do you think that could have been? A UFO or something else entirely? Please share your thoughts in the comments section. In the animal kingdom, it's an eat or be eaten rule among carnivores. However, when it comes to a family of animals against one predator, they never leave a home behind. In this footage, we can see a lion lunging at a hyena. The hyena tries to get away, but the king of the jungle is not ready to let a disrespectful subordinate get away, so it keeps jaws locked on the neck of the poor guy. Meanwhile, there's an audience of hyenas standing by, but keeping a safe distance for fear of their lives. However, they noticed that their friend would not survive, so they decided to help. They start to gather around the lion, clawing and biting at it. As they got more aggressive, the lion lets go of the hyena in its mouth to fight back the rest. But seeing that there were many and this was an unfair fight, it decided to give up. I have a feeling that the poor hyena won't survive for much longer. Nature is indeed brutal. But long live the king. Nature can be very unpredictable. In a captivating piece of footage, the ordinary, tranquil setting of a river becomes a stage for a mysterious spectacle. As the camera captures the scene, the riverbed beneath the water's surface rises. The water, usually a placid mirror reflecting the sky, gives way to a hidden force sculpting the riverbed into an otherworldly display. Why did the ground under the river suddenly rise? Could it be because of movements deep in the earth, like a hidden dance of rocks and forces, or is there an invisible and otherworldly being shaping the landscape as it pleases? Share your thoughts in the comment section. What do you see when you look at this? While not much information is available to us about the clip, it shows a fish with a human face on its head looking directly at the camera. The footage has left viewers wondering whether this is another case of CGI or a genuinely unique fish in the water. There have been several instances of fish with human-like faces that have gone viral on social media platforms. However, after investigating, it's discovered that some of these fishes are CGI generated, while others are actual unique creatures that dwell in the deepest parts of the ocean. It's fascinating to think about the wonders of the ocean and the vast array of creatures that exist beneath the surface. When we look at this, though, we're not exactly sure what we're dealing with. What do you think could be going on here? Tell us in the comments section. At a festival, a man was seen engaging in a physical altercation, throwing punches recklessly in the air. Most people who witnessed the event immediately assumed that he was under the influence of drugs, as his behavior seemed erratic and aggressive. There were some who thought that there had to be more to his behavior. Some even suggested that there was some inexplicable force pushing him down. They argued that the force was very real and that there had to be something more sinister at play than just drug use. The circumstances surrounding the man's behavior are still unclear, and it's uncertain whether he was indeed under the influence of drugs or if there was an external factor causing his strange behavior. But what do you think? Are there aliens living among us? Do you have first contact? Anyone who is interested in extraterrestrial life would have heard these questions. But are they questions we have answers to? Well, our next clip will suggest so. Take a look. Yeah, you're actually seeing right. Those are alien-looking creatures standing in what looks like a farm area or a barn staring in the direction of the camera. We don't have the history or background of the footage, but it's being paraded on paranormal platforms as being footage of aliens. What do you think? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Our next capture takes us to Oregon, where we have another sighting of the elusive Bigfoot. Take a look. Now this capture is a bit more convincing, and that's a big, hulky build. This was captured in one woodland area in Oregon. The uploader refuses to share further details, but imagine running into this while exploring the woods. You'd definitely not be fine for a while. Do you think I'm being overly dramatic comparing this with the previous one, or do you think the previous one is more convincing? Share your thoughts with me in the comment section.
Recently, footage has emerged of a strange glowing object in the sky that kept changing shape. The object has left many people in awe and wonder, trying to determine what it might actually be. Do you see it? See how it transformed within a few seconds. Some have suggested that it could be a genuine UFO craft piloted by extraterrestrial visitors from beyond the stars. Others have speculated that it might be an actual entity of some kind existing beyond our comprehension. However, some believe that it's all just a clever hoax designed to deceive people. Looking at the clip, I can understand why many would think it's a hoax, but well, I'd love to hear your thoughts on the matter. What do you think is going on here? Take a look at this footage that was mailed to us. It was captured by a doorbell camera and showed a mysterious object moving across the doorway. At first, it appeared to be some kind of shadow, but as it moved, it began to emit a bright glow which caught my attention. As you continue to watch the footage, you'll notice that the object seems to be moving slowly and deliberately, almost as if it were crawling along a surface. After closer inspection, I realized that it was a snail that had somehow made its way onto the camera lens and was slowly making its way across it. Either that or there's a giant snail out there and these people are not safe. Before you criticize me in the comments section, I'm joking, please. Or am I? Anyway, what do you think about the whole thing? Do you love fish? If you answered yes, then can you tell me what on earth that is? It's hard to make sense of this because its upper body somewhat looks human, with the rest of its body looking like a fish. Could this be what real life and actual mermaids look like? On second thought, I doubt that's in any way a mermaid. It seems to be struggling to get by. Could it be some mutated organism or even perhaps a mutated mermaid? I know this sounds like a far stretch when you think about it, but how else can we explain that? Quite frankly, my team and I are out of options or even opinions. What do you think about the whole thing? Share your thoughts with us. Speaking of strange paranormal occurrences and beings, take a look at this next capture. What comes to mind when you see it? Literally the devil, right? It has this demonic and ominous feel to it. Its physique and either pointed ears or horns have this demonic feel to it. What makes this crazy is the fact that it was captured by a Trailcam hidden in the woods. Now, the owner had noticed weird things happening in those woods, including animals being found with their blood drained or partially eaten. Anyone who knows anything about the wild will know that no food gets wasted and predators do not kill animals for its blood. The owner of the camera had long suspected that something weird was going on, but never did he ever think he would discover something like this as the reason.
Now, he refused to disclose his location, but what would you do in his situation? Tell us in the comments section. Reports of UFO sightings frequently involve objects seen in the sky that leave people feeling uneasy and curious. However, now and then, someone might catch a glimpse of a UFO on land. One such case involves a driver who had an unusual encounter while making their way home. While driving on a highway, he came across a large truck that was transporting what appeared to be a UFO. Although it's unclear whether this object was an actual alien spacecraft, it did bear a remarkable resemblance to the classic description of a flying saucer. The mysterious sighting raises several questions. Is it possible that someone is transporting an authentic UFO, or is there a more mundane explanation for the sighting? Could it be a top-secret military experiment or a clever marketing stunt? Share your thoughts in the comments section. While walking through the woods, someone allegedly came across this. It was a floating tank of some sort, but unlike the regular war tank, this one was smaller and flatter. But why is this thing floating? A commenter stated this. Some call it UFO, others call it drone. Indeed, both explanations offer intriguing possibilities. The thought of extraterrestrial visitors maneuvering among the trees ignites the imagination, conjuring images of otherworldly beings exploring our planet. At the same time, the idea of cutting-edge drone technology pushing the limits of what's achievable is equally captivating, highlighting the advancements humans have made in aerial innovation. So could it be UFO tech or a human-made drone? A part of me thinks neither. A part of me thinks it may be a prop that was set up for this clip in an attempt to gain 5 minutes of fame. But what do I know? Speaking of questionable Bigfoot captures, take a look at this next one. This was apparently captured by a man in his car while he was on a trip. He saw the creature from afar, got close enough to take a look at it, and ran away. Now, I'm no skeptic when it comes to Bigfoot, but I simply have so many questions when it comes to this footage. First off, the area doesn't look like a place where someone is casually driving around, so how did this vehicle get into such an area to see the Bigfoot? Assuming we believe him and what he's saying is true, pay attention to the Bigfoot's movements. They are so much more human than that of a giant creature. Do you see the discrepancies that I'm seeing too, or do you have a different opinion? Please share in the comments section. The footage you are seeing is from Jacksonville, and yes, those are clowns. Imagine waking up and seeing clowns standing at your door with clubs or some other mysterious object in their hands. Would you run, or would you stay? With my experience in all things paranormal, trust me when I say I'd run, and I'd run very quickly. It's better to be laughed at for being afraid than to die at the hands of some killer clown because you underestimated it. But am I being paranoid? Do I sound paranoid? Maybe I need a break, but either way, you have to agree, this is creepy. It turned out to be a practical joke, but clearly many of the individuals who experienced it didn't think so. I recently stumbled upon this video that has left me questioning my own eyes. The clip shows a tree moving on a street in a residential area, and the last time I checked, trees don't exactly have legs or wings to enable them to move around. Some are suggesting that it could be a drone. However, I'm not entirely convinced by this explanation, and I'm left wondering if the video has been edited or manipulated in some way. The video appears to have been taken on a calm day with no strong winds or weather conditions that might explain the tree's movement. Additionally, the tree itself is quite large, suggesting it would take a significant amount of force to move it. While it is possible that a drone could have caused this movement, I find it difficult to believe that a small device could generate enough force to move a tree of this size. Also, the movement of the tree seems slightly unnatural, almost as if it has been animated, meaning this could be some good editing.
But what do you think? CGI, drone, or perhaps the supernatural? Cows are domesticated farm animals that are known for their large size and weight. They're generally not considered to be good climbers as they are not adapted to climbing trees or navigating rough terrain. However, in a surprising turn of events, footage has come to light of a cow that was caught between a tree branch. Naturally, all who saw it had questions. How did the cow end up in this precarious situation? One commenter gave a possible explanation, and that is that the incident occurred during a flood in Thailand. However, when you look at the surroundings, there's no visible evidence of water, making it unclear what happened. It's unclear how long the cow was stuck in the tree or how it was eventually rescued. But what do you think? Did this cow really try to jump over the moon and get stuck, or could there be a more logical explanation?
This next footage will shock even the most open-minded of us. Instead of me talking plenty, just watch. Looks like a woman sitting in a tree, doesn't it? Or like a saint of some sorts, but is it really? Turns out it's not. According to the uploader of the footage, what you see on your screen is actually what was mysteriously found in the tree. It had either suddenly appeared there overnight, or they had just not noticed it in each of their visitations to the woods, which is most unlikely since they visit often according to them. But even if it had been there long, who put it there and why? What would be the benefit of having a statue in a tree? Who would see it? What if it falls? This is where the myths and stories come in. Some believe it could be an ancestor or saint reappearing and making a statement to them. Sounds like a scene from the Tomb Raider or something, but right now we don't have much to go on. What do you think? Big and grand things, literally, but today is a bit different. While the creature we start with may not be big or ginormous in size, it's got a mystery that makes it worth the spot. Take a look. What do you think that is? You can't say, right? Well, so is every single person we've shown the capture to. Nobody has been able to describe the creature thus far, which is no surprise, given how it looks. It does kinda look like a bird, that's certainly true, but what kind of bird looks like that? None that we're aware of. When you tune your mind off it potentially being a bird, it appears to have the silhouette of a sloth, albeit a much smaller and yellowish one. As you can probably tell by now, we've no idea what we're dealing with, but that could also be because we have untrained eyes as far as wildlife is concerned. Do any of you know what this is? Can you educate us, please? We'd really love to know. You know, it's not exactly news that creatures roam our world, with some of them lurking in our woodlands, but I've got to admit, the beings that show up on trail cams make me question everything. Were we fed lies about Earth, or are monsters from our wildest movies stepping into reality? And now for this last piece of footage, a creature caught on a trail cam's lens. Just have a look, a towering figure striding across the camera's field of view. And get this, those legs, they're impossibly elongated and slender. This creature is one riddle we're trying to crack, but there is more. The creature, enigmatic and otherworldly, challenges our understanding of anatomy. Limbs of traditional shape and purpose are conspicuously absent, replaced by a singular neck that arcs like a question mark, crowned with a head that defies convention. Although its lifelike semblance is striking, my team and I can't shake the suspicion that this might just be an elaborate hoax. But what do you think? This image was taken by a woman who went touring with her son at the Jenny Wade household. As her son was peeking through a bullet hole that was left on the door, she decided to take a picture of the house, and there on the footage she spotted this strange, ghost-like entity standing between the camera and her son. The surprised woman decided to share this footage online. The concept of life after death is intricate, and the belief in spirits lingering among the living is a universal thread woven through diverse cultures and religions. The entity captured in this image could be anything, yet a prevailing notion suggests it might be the ghost of Jenny Wade herself. Tracing back to the 1900s during the American Civil War, this house carries a haunting tale. Jenny was peacefully kneading dough in her kitchen when a bullet pierced through her kitchen door and walls, tragically ending her life. Since that fateful day, the house has stood as a silent witness, inviting visitors to gaze upon the haunting bullet holes etched into its walls. Legends perpetuate the idea that departed spirits often linger where their earthly journey met a tragic halt. It's not beyond imagination to speculate that the faint enigmatic figure captured in the footage is none other than Jenny's restless spirit, a lingering reminder of the past, bridging the chasm between then and now. Or am I just exaggerating over an edited photo? Share your thoughts in the comments section. Imagine you're riding a bike and almost hit a young lady, and then she disappears when you turn around to make sure she's fine. That's exactly what happened to the cyclist you see in the footage. Spooked, he uploaded this online, and all who saw it had one thing to say. It's definitely a Yurei. The young man was Asian, hence the Asian paranormal. For my folks in the West, a Yurei is a spectral being from Japanese folklore and mythology. They're typically depicted as vengeful spirits of the dead and are associated with ghostly apparitions, hauntings, and supernatural occurrences like what the young man experienced. They're typically dressed in kimonos or funeral attires, which makes me wonder if what we saw was truly one. But if they're vengeful spirits, what did the young man do to attract one? Either way, what do you all think? Do we have Asians in our audience? Can you throw more light on this? Have you ever seen a mastiff scared? Well, the individual recording our next footage saw her pup truly terrified for the first time as they went through the woods, and you won't believe what they encountered. Yes, that, my friend, is a Bigfoot. At least, we think it is. Looking at what's on your screen, does any other creature come to mind? None, right? Before you jump in and say we are dealing with an ape, know that New Hampshire has no apes. That leaves us with only one plausible explanation. We are dealing with a Bigfoot. Do you think otherwise? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. This creature was spotted on a trail cam, and its owner was not sure of what he was looking at. Naturally, he decided to share it with the public to figure out what the creature could be. And in the frame, there it is. An emaciated figure, somewhat resembling a dog, emerges from the depths of the woods. Its eyes are locked onto the trail camera. Notice those perked ears atop its head and a snout that's oddly dog-like. But hold on, the long limbs give this creature away. This isn't just another stray dog, there's something more, something maybe even sinister lurking here. I can't help but wonder, could this be the legendary Dogman, the mysterious creature born of myth and folklore? While it's hard to give a definitive answer, we'd definitely love to hear your thoughts. What do you think?
Not everybody here on this planet has a soul. In fact, a lot of them are just projections of programs, and how you tell the difference is a human being has the ability to change, and a messenger cannot change. The messengers are here program artificial intelligence.
Thanks to the influence of the paranormal and conspiracy communities, we're all a little more skeptical about people we encounter in our daily lives. With ideas of reptilians, ghosts, and skinwalkers floating around, it's like a can of worms has been opened, and now we're questioning everyone. I recently came across footage of a woman discussing something quite fascinating. She claims that not all humans have souls. According to her, there are two types of people, humans and messengers. Humans have souls and are capable of growth, change, and evolution. Messengers, on the other hand, are individuals programmed by some sort of system. These messengers don't have the ability to change or evolve like humans do. They're described as being static, almost robotic in nature. It's a pretty wild theory. It means that some of the people we interact with every day might not be alive in the same way we understand life. They might be something else entirely, with no soul, just serving a purpose in this mysterious system. What do you make of that theory?
When you go back to roots, the way you tell if you're a human being or just a messenger, a co-opted bot of artificial intelligence, is you can change. A human being has the ability to change its mind.
And with that, we end today's episode. Thanks for staying with us. Before you go, are there clips and videos you think we should feature by now that we haven't? Well, the good news is you can share them with us and we'll post them crediting you. Please send any such footage, including ones you recorded yourself, to us via classifiedcaptures@gmail.com. We'll do our thing and include it in our next episode. We can't wait to receive what you have. Share this video with someone you love, and I will see you in the next one.